Namaskaram, EuGURU.
Namaskaram, madam. Namaskaram, viewers.
Been a long time, EuGURU. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, EuGURU. Thank you. EuGURU, we have heard the saying, Unave Marundu, which means food is medicine. How can we justify that, EuGURU? Because food today is more fancy,
Yes.
more likely to be, junk food. And whatever vegetables we take is all full of pesticides, chemicals, and all that. So, how can we really do a healthy eating? Whatever organic and things they come with a label of, still there is some kind of or some amount of pesticides. So, how do we really eat healthy and natural food, and how does it complement to our health?
Very nice question, madam. Very
Thank
true.
you.
In today's world, when I say that, no, many of them, even of late, when they met me, so they have been asking, you are saying this, all these things and all. But today's world, natural thing only is become unnatural.
Yeah.
So that is, so how do you draw a line, or what do you do? Like, right? So what is the options left for us? If you want to eat only organic food, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
And organic food also, no, we don't know exactly whether it's really organic or it is just the brand. Okay. So I'll give you a simple tip, madam.
Okay.
Okay. What you do is, you are having 3 meals a day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you really think you need 3 meals a day?
Not always. Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell me, not always. So when do you really think you need 3 full meals a day?
That's a general practice, you guru. Otherwise, I don't go by the clock. When I'm really hungry, when my stomach growls, I want to eat.
Okay. So let me put it this way, madam.
Okay.
If you think about our ancestors, okay, maybe ancestors, when I say, it is maybe 200, 300 years before. So those people, primarily in India, we were all farmers,
Yeah.
right? And very much because of the farmers, we are eating this food, and each time when we take food, right? So it, of course, Mother Earth is the one who gives it to us, but farmers are the ones who play a major role in making that food edible for us.
Right.
Okay, so we'd like to, at this time, I would like to thank all the farmers.
Okay.
Very big, you all are actually a very big blessing for all of us. It's because of you all that we are able to have our food.
Very much.
So now, madam, coming back to the actual topic. So a few hundreds of years back, so we were all basically farmers or hunter-gatherers, whatever. Either we were farmers or we were nomads. Nomads means like we didn't have a settlement. We kept like moving from place to place. And once fire was introduced, we began to cook food and all that. And then when we realized that nomadic life was not as suitable, so at that time people began to settle down.
Right.
So then they began to cultivate their own food, and they used to have their food, and generally the women folk used to be at home preparing the meals, taking care of the family, the children, the kids, and they used to have small animals, like hen and all that. So they will take care of that, and the men used to go to work, to work in the fields.
Yeah.
So early morning, I think a few episodes back we spoke about the rice,
The fermented
congee.
rice. Yeah.
So that was early morning, they'll have that and they'll go. Now, the women folk, there was no they didn't have any carrier or tiffin box or hot box to take their lunch and go and have their lunch there. Okay. Even a water bottle they do not have. They have to find their source of water somewhere nearby and quench their thirst. So morning, if they have and go, the breakfast, so called the first meal. Breakfast itself is an incorrect term, madam. Let me not go into that. So if they are first meal, so they have their first meal of the day, and then they go away to work in the fields.
Okay.
And there is no other option. There are no hotels, or there were no shops or Swiggy, Zomato those days to come and deliver food for them. At the same way, the women folk also, they can't leave their, there'll be some small babies or children, or there'll be some pets and all that. So they cannot leave them and take food and go searching their husbands. First of all, they will not know which way to go and all that. So to avoid all that, they used to have a good meal in the morning, and they'll go to their work. Then those days, once the sun comes down, that is 6 o'clock for them.
Okay.
So as soon as it becomes getting darker, so the dusk we call it, no?
Yeah.
Dawn and dusk. So dawn they'll get up, dusk that means the time to retire. So they used to come back home. Then whatever they are prepared, no, maybe it will be a more heavier meal, because whole day they have worked and they have walked all the way and come down. So they need to have a nice meal. So they'll have a good meal and go to bed. So this was actually what our body is used to. Okay. So, and that is what is required also. There is absolutely no requirement, because I think sometime back we spoke about the dog experiment, right? The Dobermans, as soon as you ring the bell and
Yeah.
they start salivating, all that. So we humans unfortunately have become like that, animalistic, so to say. Because many times, madam, many times I've seen people, maybe at workplace or even in YouTube or in the movies we see, exactly at 1 o'clock they feel hungry. They would have had a very good meal, but at 1 o'clock they become very hungry. I don't know how. And that too, it's not that they have just had their breakfast and then their lunch. In between, no, at least 2 times coffee would have gone in, 2 cups of coffee and probably 4 to 5 cookies. So all this would have happened, but still they are hungry. And then obviously, whatever you eat, right? Like you eat, which is the main organ, madam, which is affected, whatever you eat?
Liver.
Exactly. In fact, in my initial career phase, we did one study, madam, a
Okay.
clinical research study
Okay.
in one of the top hospitals in Bangalore. There were about 300 patients, I think, in that study. It was called DILI, DILI,
Okay.
drug-induced liver injury. Okay, this was the study. So generally, what is the thing which destroys the liver, madam? Men. For men.
For men, maybe smoking or drinking.
Yeah, mostly drinking. So alcohol is one thing which causes a lot of common complaint called liver cirrhosis. Okay, and the second most important thing which destroys the liver is medicines.
Yeah.
You are having a small headache, you want to pop a pill. You're having little pain in the knee, no threshold, no, you're not able to bear a little bit of pain. Immediately you take some, I don't want to name the medication, you take a tab. Then you're a bit like, no, you're feeling, this is also okay. At times they are just feeling a little lethargic. Immediately they want a boost. So they take a drink. Again, I don't want to name the product. They'll take a drink which is which has high amounts of caffeine.
You mean energy drink, EuGURU?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Not only drinks, ma'am, now even the energy bars have come and
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
atrocities are happening. Okay. So the basic thing is, whenever people are consuming these kind of things, right, the main organ which gets affected is the liver. I think those of the viewers who have done pharmacology, they'll understand this. You might think, what, this guy is not even a doctor, he's talking all this. It is all there, madam. Now YouTube, everything is there. So I have been researching about the human body for many years.
Okay.
There is something called first pass effect. That is basically when you take any medication, the liver thinks that is poison. Okay. So it tries its best to destroy it.
Okay.
And whatever little amount comes out, right, that is the one which gives you the effect, whatever intended effect, so-called intended effect.
Okay.
Yes, madam, you have a question.
Yes, EuGURU. Whenever we take any medicine to suppress the pain or any condition, the body becomes resistant to that dosage. Then when it keeps increasing, where does it lead to? What is the ultimate medication or no way to curb the pain or whatever condition?
If you ask the ultimate, madam, from medication you should transcend into meditation.
Okay.
And as you said, it's very true. Same thing, madam. Suppose a person starts to drink, no? The first time when he drinks, maybe 130 ml, 30 ml of whatever alcohol he takes, immediately he'll get a high. Okay. So
Okay.
for 1 week he keeps taking 30 ml, 30 ml, 30 ml. Once the next week, no, if he continues to drink, that 30 ml will not give him that high. He has to go to 60 ml. Only then he'll get the same high.
Okay.
So this goes on, as you rightly said, same thing with medication. That's why they are also called drugs.
Okay.
Same thing with drugs also, madam. First they'll take a little bit, then the same amount will not give them the same high. So they have to keep going on higher and higher.
Okay.
So coming back to your question, madam, very simple to just say it in a minute or so. This is how the human body works. Okay. So I know there are now whatever you take, no, the shiny apples, the shiny capsicum, no, nowadays you see
Yeah.
these yellow, red, green. I saw one blue also, madam, slight blue. I don't know from
Okay.
where they get those. They look all very natural, but they are so shiny. And somewhere I saw, no, like, okay, at least Kashmir apples, I can, Shimla apples, to some extent we can take it. Okay, it's in India only. Sometimes they put Australian grapes, they'll put California, this one,
Prunes.
whatever, prunes. From California, if it has to reach India, that too, they and all cannot come by air, madam. They have to come by ship, or ship, mostly is by ship. So it will take months and months.
Yeah.
How can it be so fresh, something which is coming from months, right? So it is there. I am not denying that. But what you can do is at least give your body enough time to process it.
Okay.
See, madam, as you are evolving, your body is also evolving. I always say this to, whenever I conduct some sessions, I say this. In case my grandfather's grandfather, if he were to live in this environment, he may not survive for more than 3 months.
Yeah.
The pollution level,
Right.
the food, the toxicity. But how are we surviving?
Because we are used to.
Yes, body gets used to it.
Okay.
But at the same time, you should strengthen your body. So basically, if you want to know, you can't avoid pesticides, madam. All this complete organic and all, I don't believe in that personally. Those who want to believe can believe. Everywhere pesticides are everywhere.
Okay.
When I was small, I used to remember, madam, maybe you also will remember, when you used to buy these guavas and all that on the roadside, there'll be small worms. Or
Yeah.
sometimes mangoes will also, no, small worms
Yeah.
will come. Now hardly there are no worms at all. Forget that, you take a chocolate and keep it outside, even the ants don't come there.
Yeah.
Ants know with their tiny drop brain that it is nonsense, it's a chemical, I should not eat that. So basically, madam, to put your answer very briefly, give enough time.
Okay.
So you have a good meal in the morning, you give your body at least 8 to 9 hours for
Okay.
it to completely digest that, assimilate that, and when you're really hungry, you have your next meal.
Okay.
And again, this depends. Suppose people, I can't say this, no, to people who are working on, suppose they are putting the roads, right? So I can't tell them you eat only 2 times a day. That will be nonsensical. But you should see, the people should understand how comfortable they are with giving their body enough time to assimilate the food. So it's on a person to person basis. So hope I have given you a clarity, madam.
Yeah, EuGURU. I understand that we should first have a sense of connection with the body and then practice. Of course, practice makes a man perfect. So that's the way I believe. So
Man and woman, madam.
Okay. Okay, I was just telling generally.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for all that inputs, EuGURU.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, viewers. Blessings of the universe.